Hey everybody, welcome back. Icon here. Today we're talking about jumps and spots on the map St. Petrograd. So this map is fantastic. I love this for Hardpoint. I love it for Search and Destroy. I love it for Domination. I love this map. It offers these long lines of sights. It offers this close quarter combat up here in the buildings. It really is. It's just a great rotations. The spawns seem pretty decent, so I can definitely see why this has been chosen as a competitive map. But before we get into this, A bombs over there, B bombs over here. I like to talk about spots, jumps and spots and sight lines and stuff like that as they apply to Search and Destroy, just because most of the time if some of these apply to Search and Destroy, then they'll also apply to respawn game types. So getting into this, I want to start with the best one that I have, okay? So when it comes to planting B, there are pretty well-known places, right, that people like to go after they plant. So, for example, say I was to plant here on B, the goal is to not sit in a place like this, right? You want to try to escape the immediate area here. So, what we want to do is plant B and then go somewhere else, okay? So, the first place I want to go to is I want to plant on this side, somewhere over here, and what I like to do is I like to come over here, jump on this car, and then this spot is just phenomenal. You run off the car, you jump on this ledge, and now you are basically hidden from anybody that might be coming from the A bomb over there, and you can peek out, you can check stuff like that, as well as if you crouch down, you can kind of see sight lines as people start to run up over here, just for if, per se, you were playing some respawn game types and you wanted to get a kill or two, you were just one or two off of your streaks or something like that. But so this is just a great spot because you're hidden from B and you're hidden from anybody coming water side. So this spot, I can't tell you how much I love this spot. I get kills here all the time, so it's probably going to be a more well-known spot here soon, but this one is just fantastic. Another one that's really good. Now, that's a phenomenal spot, and some of these are great, but in other cases, you just want to be in a spot where somebody won't look for you. So if you come up here, you'll notice if you go too far to the right, it's telling you to return to combat. But if you creep a little bit forward, now you are hidden. So it's really touchy here, right, in terms of where you can be. But I like this one a lot just because people don't see you over here. Most of the time, if you're planning in Search and Destroy and there's somebody left, they're going to be coming for A. So there are so many places to spot over here that a lot of people won't look here. So this is just one here. It also offers a really good line of sight all the way down to the end of this sight line here. Anybody coming through middle. Sure, you're exposed, but they're never going to expect you here just because this isn't a very well-known spot. So here's another one. You can also get up on top of this wall a little bit. This allows you to see over here a little bit, but this spot's not too great. The next one that is becoming more and more popular is you can plant B, jump on top of these boxes, and this is a really good spot. Now, like I said before, it's becoming really popular. So it allows you to look towards water side. It allows you to look towards the middle sight line, the middle rush line here for anybody coming through this middle hallway back to B. And you can see over on the right sight line. So this is pretty versatile in terms of you can see all three of them. The thing that I don't like about this line of sight is that, say I'm looking here, you'll notice that the right side of my screen, I can no longer see people rushing this way. Same as if I'm looking this way, I can't see middle or to the right. And if I'm looking this way, I can't really see the middle hallway anymore or the left side. This site, it's a great spot up here. I just don't like it that much because you constantly have to check all your spots and you're kind of exposed up here. So if you're looking here and somebody comes down middle, they're definitely going to see you and you're probably going to die. So use that one if you want. It's not one of my favorites. Last one over here towards B that I want to talk about is this rooftop over here. And this is just a fantastic rooftop. Now, there are two ways to get up here. You can get up from this trash can, and you can actually run and jump off this ledge. But it's really hard to do from that way. My guess would be if you're trying to guard B or something, you'd probably see something there. But this is a really good spot for respawn game types. You can see all the way down this line of sight here, left side of the train tracks, through the middle, up on top of this rooftop where people like to camp, the right side here. So this is just a really good spot. You can even see into this window where people look over B-Dom. So this spot I like a lot. You can even jump up and get a little bit closer if you're up here just to kind of change the angles a little bit. Again, this isn't that useful for search. You can't really see anybody coming out here. And if they do come out, you don't really have a line of sight. But these are 3 or 4 really good spots for guarding B over here. As we continue with our jumps and spots, I'm going to head over towards A bomb. Now, this one it is what it is. Most of the stuff that's over here is pretty obvious, such as one of my favorite things to do is if we're attacking A and somebody's going to get it down, I like to come up here, not because you're hidden so much, just because if people come around this corner, not everybody looks up here. So being up on top of this rooftop, it's helpful, and it also allows you to kind of sneak out and peek underneath and then run back and sneak both here in the middle. So this is a decent spot. Use it if you want. The only other thing is that this is a really dominant counter line of sight right over here towards ADOM. Just know that if you think somebody's up there, you can actually do one of these, throw a stun, and then you can go ahead and you can jump up and you can get up this way. So a lot of people think that the only way that you can really be killed up here is from this flank route here. Just know that you can actually jump in this window, and it's fairly useful if you have somebody stunned and they're trying to counter your A push here. As we go backwards, all this stuff can be jumped on, but there's nothing else that's really all that useful. The next useful thing I want to talk about is, say you go ahead and you plant A. Again, the goal is to escape that area. So if you come back here, if you were to plant on the left side of the bomb, so you can actually plant right there. So if you're here, you can see it. Or the other thing you can do is jump up on top of this roof, and if you plant on the right side of the bomb, you can actually see it from up here. So you can plant there, be up on top of this roof, and then constantly be going back and forth. Now, this roof is something that's getting used more and more often, and I just don't really like it all that much. Main reason is that's our light source, right? All of these maps have some artificial light source, but if I'm up here, you'll notice that my reflection is back here on this back wall, and if people don't see me, they're definitely going to see my reflection. It's just, it offers a pretty good head glitch here. It gives you a spot to look down this left line of sight to kind of counter that rooftop and back here that we were talking about before. I just don't really like it. I feel like you're kind of exposed, and this is a popular spot, so you want to try to avoid the most popular spots, but you can definitely get up there. So you can get up on that side. There's a yellow car over here. You can jump up on this yellow car, get on this awning, and then get on the roof this way. So that's a spot there. The one that I do like to use back here is I like to come back here and then jump on this building. And this building for me is way more useful than that other one was. So if I pull out my sniper rifle, you can see that I can see into that building, and they're probably not going to expect me back here. So this is a good counter to that line of sight. You can also see all the way down this left flank again. So it's the same line of sight that you're offered up there. You can just see a little bit more, and you're a little bit more hidden. So being hidden from our enemies is a good thing. This jump up going towards B-Dom, this just offers a really good line of sight, and you're not quite as exposed as you were over here. The other awesome thing about this line of sight is this is a hard point spot. So if somebody's in this hard point, it's pretty normal for us to spawn on this side of the map, in bar, or over there by A bomb, somewhere in here. And the issue is that trying to get close to this is fairly difficult. But if you come over here, you can jump up on top of this roof, and this allows you to see these spots where people like to hide. So a lot of people, when they're in this hardpoint spot, will hide kind of in these corners because they feel like they're kind of hidden from anybody coming from this back flank. And this just gives us a nice line of sight to counter anybody that might be hiding here. Or say that we're in the hard point, the chances of somebody from this left side over here shooting you up here are pretty low. So you can actually look into this room, and you can get, if anybody runs out here, tries to counter your hard point capture, this is just a really easy kill to finish here. As we move on, just because I don't want to take forever with this video, you can jump up here, get into this building, climb through this window. This is a great thing about Infinity Ward maps, is all this stuff you can get on top of. So there are some lines of sight here if you want to, feel free to use these, but I just wanted to show you the other way to jump up into these windows. You can also jump across this, and this is a really good one up here. So there are 3 ways to get up here. You can hit that jump, you can come over here to this dumpster that's down underneath. So you can jump up, and you can kind of approach this way. This is a really good line of sight for anybody that might be spawning here in this back corner trying to go to that hard point. Anybody that might be coming from that middle flank going through these doors. The way I like to see that is through over here. So if you're up here, people coming through this middle door trying to go towards B-Dom through this middle here. Say you have the domination point that's in the back. I think that's C. And you have B-Dom right in the middle. This is a great way to kill people that are trying to get to B-Dom. Most people just don't expect you to be up here, and you can always get in and out of sight with this column here. So just also know that you can jump up on here and then jump up to this platform up here. So those are a couple really good spots here. I like that ledge a lot. But other than that, most of the stuff that you see on this map is pretty self-explanatory. The one thing I don't like is that you can jump into these windows from mid, but you can't jump into that window. So I just feel like if there's somebody camping in these windows, there are multiple ways that you can get up there. Such as, if you come over here, you can go ahead, you can jump up on this trash can, and then get up on this roof, and then you can go ahead and jump through the window this way. So that's one way to counter that way. The other thing that you can do is, this is right next to Benom, so you can jump up on top of this roof. This way is a little bit faster, but then you can get in that way. And then same thing on this side. You can come over here to these boxes and then jump up this way. So that's just a way to get up into these buildings. And it's just kind of unfortunate that you can't really get into those windows, but you can counter and get into these ones. This is a decent spot to camp also, but again, once you get on top of these awnings, it just forces you off. So it's a decent spot up here, just because if anybody's coming through these doors going towards Benom, they're not necessarily going to be looking for you up here. I'll use this one pretty often, but most of the time I get 1 or 2 kills, and then people will shoot you off of here, so it's not that useful. But that'll do it for jumps and spots on the map St. Petrograd. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe. That way you don't miss any of these videos in the future. Don't forget to leave a like before you head on your way. And thank you guys so much for checking out another video. I will catch you in